We were at an exhibition at the Tate. Queer people everywhere. And I looked around and I said, Marlene, everyone's Caucasian. And she said something to me that I will never forget. And it was kind of sad. She said to me that a lot of Black people don't understand that they're welcome in this place. And that just really broke my heart.
I'm Suzette Llewellyn.
I'm Suzanne Packer.
We're two actors and, more importantly, two friends who've been through life's ups and downs together over the last 30 years.
In this series, we invite some incredible people to our imaginary veranda to tell the stories of their lives.
This is Veranda Talk.
Mzz Kimberley, also known as the fierce and beautiful Kim Tatum. Thank you so much for joining us here at Red Bull London. Welcome to Veranda Talk.
Girl, thank you so much.
Kim,
yes,
you are an actress, a singer, a cabaret performer, fashion icon, LGBTQ+ activist, patron of Q Clinic, ambassador for Parapride, patron of AIDS Memorial UK, and of course, a director of Mzz Kimberley Live. Because of course you're the director of your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you are. Now, we first met at a NAS. I think that's where we first...
No.
Where did we first meet?
We first met, we were both judging a competition at the Glory with Johnny Woo.
That's right.
Where we first
met.
Right.
You were right. That's where we first met.
I'll never forget it. I was like, who is this woman?
Was she in one of her glorious outfits?
I can't remember what she was wearing, but she just had this like beautiful personality and really engaging and all these crazy people around, and she was interacting with them. I'm like, I want to be friends with her.
That's right, you're right, because I just worked with Johnny.
Yeah.
And that's right, it was the Man Up competition.
Yeah. Was it Man Up? Yes.
It was.
That's right.
That panel, the Glory, which is no longer here anymore.
It's the Divine
but
now.
It's the Divine.
Yes.
There's more places for people to go and have a great time.
That's true.
Yes. So that's where we first met. And then we met at NAS.
I don't remember NAS.
You don't remember
I
NAS?
remember the last time we were at a fashion show and you brought your husband and I was like blown away. He's so cool.
Oh, and with the hat.
With the hat. See,
yes.
I love my hat, you see.
Yes, you do.
I love a hat.
Yes.
My grandmother was an ex-hat designer. So she was a milliner. Not a designer. Yeah, a milliner for the ladies in church.
Right. Okay. So I love what you're wearing right now.
You.
Exactly.
You.
Do you think your grandmother would approve of this particular hat? Did she do lavish hats? Or?
She would approve of anything I wore, especially because this is her hat pin. So she would really appreciate. It's so funny. When she passed away, the rest of the family got the diamonds. You know what I got?
The hats.
No, I got all her leopard skin. Yeah, I have leopard skin. You name it, I have it.
Wow. I love that. She knew what to give you.
Well, I guess so.
So fashion is really important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is extremely important to me. And it's important to me because when you look good, you feel good. And that is so important for your mental health. We need to do everything we can to make ourselves feel happy on the inside. And if no one else thinks you look good, that does not matter. It's all about what you feel on the inside.
Absolutely. And it's a big part of your expression of yourself. You put something on, you've made choices.
Yes.
If you decide you're going to put on a purple lipstick, or if you decide you're going to wear a hat or not wear a hat, or put on, I don't know, a scarf, there's something, you've made a choice. And I think that's important. Even if you're putting on a tracksuit bottom
very true.
And a T-shirt, I'm sorry, those people...
That's very true.
You've actually made a choice.
Yeah.
You've chosen a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So when people say they don't care about clothes, I think a lot of the times you're making choices. And I think it's not as frivolous as it may seem.
Very true. It does send a message. People react to you differently when you are clean and just, you kind of like present yourself in a certain way. They do react to you differently. Definitely. That is without a doubt.
I was on a train coming from Cardiff to London and only got into conversation with a woman because I had quite an interesting sweater. And out of her complimenting this sweater, I found out that she was a knitwear designer. And she has her own shop in Cardiff.
There you go.
And those 2 hours on that train were gorgeous because it sparked a conversation. And I wouldn't say we're friends, but it led to such an open conversation. And so it's, as you say, Sue, it's not just frivolity. It, as you say, it's about well-being and communication and connection.
Do you know, I have communicated with 2 people in 2 days. This morning, I saw this beautiful girl. She was just so pretty. And she was coming across the street. And I said, oh, you look so gorgeous. And she was, oh, you look nice. And she went one way and I went the other way. But we actually met up again.
It's like being in a supermarket, isn't it? You keep being in the same aisle.
Yeah. So she was going to a shop that I go to, the secondhand shop. So I actually went in with her. We chatted, and now we become friends. And we're going to meet up again for the sales.
Oh, fabulous!
Amazing.
Yeah, that is fabulous.
Yeah, and because the way she was dressed and the way I was dressed. But it's not about going out looking for attention either.
Yeah.
No, it's no.
But isn't it lovely, though, that people can feel comfortable enough to compliment you?
Yes, that's very true.
I think that's really beautiful. And it's got no agenda. It's just about, I'm appreciating your aesthetic.
Yeah, and I do that a lot with Black women. I do that a lot because, yes, I present myself a certain way, and sometimes people may have perceived ideas that I may be this diva or something, but I'm not. And I always, make a point of complimenting a Black woman. Always.
No.
And it's so funny because a lot of time it just takes them by surprise. But I'm into lifting up Black women. I think that's it's extremely important. And I want to say, thank you so much for having me here today because, what's happening in the climate these days. Yes, I'm a transgender woman, you're a biological woman, but that doesn't mean that we can't come together and support each other and respect each other, listen to each other. And that's what I feel is sort of missing in society, not with everyone. Madeleine Albright was a congresswoman. She passed away, I think, 2020, but she had a quote that really stayed with me. She said, there's a special place in hell for women who don't support women. And I really live by that so strongly. I grew up with my mom. She left my father when I was 3. She left him with nothing, okay? She became a television host, writing for television, gave that up, went back, did a degree, a doctorate degree in education. She couldn't have done all that without my grandmother and my great-grandmother.
Absolutely.
Women. Supporting each other.
Absolutely.
Well, we're never going to argue with that.
No,
are we, Sue?
never, ever going to argue with that.
But I also want to add, that I also big up my Black men, because, colonization wants us to be enemies, wants us to, to play into disunity.
Yes.
And, so at the same time, because I want our Black men to big us up.
Yeah. Totally.
Too,
I totally
and appreciate it.
Totally agree with you there. Totally. When I was growing up, I had a hard time with Black men. And I hated Black men for such a long time. They were just so mean to me. I remember when I first came here, someone was like, oh, that's a batty boy. I didn't even know. I was like, what's a batty boy? Oh. But I soon learned.
Yes.
But, I was doing this show at a little place called the Cabaret, and I met this Black guy, big Black guy. And, he came over to talk to me, and I kind of was like, yeah, okay, what? And then we got to know each other, and I kind of apologized to him. I said, usually men like you want to, this is a little while ago, are quite, hostile towards me. We are still really good friends today. I'm like, I become like his mother.
Fabulous. That is fabulous.
So I think that's a very important point. I have to acknowledge that because, like you said, colonization has really pulled us apart. You know, we were told to hate something that is not familiar with us. So you're absolutely right. You know, I learned that transgenderism, non-binary was a huge thing in African culture. But when the colonizers came over and, you know, started, you know, colonizing and
Indoctrinated.
Thank you. You know, it's, you know, they have done a huge misservice to our community. And it's such a blessing for me to sit here in front of you two beautiful women. Seriously, I mean this and actually have this discussion.
It's our pleasure for you to be here. You are like sunshine, Kim.
Please.
Yes, you come in. No, definitely. You come in with that vibe and an energy, which is wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely. I want to talk as well about your work, your very exciting work, because you've done a lot of different kind of acting jobs and creating jobs. Because I saw you around by the Young Vic. Remember you were working on a project there.
Oh, that's right.
And you've done some stuff at the Royal Court.
Yeah,
You've done some really interesting projects. You have cabaret, you have your singing, you have your straight acting work. And that is really exciting. So tell us some stuff about the work that you've been doing that's been very exciting and challenging for you.
Well, that job that I was doing was written by Travis Alabanza. And it was a piece called I Threw It. And I'm very thankful and very appreciative because I got really good reviews from that. I think I only got 1 4-star, you know, and the rest were 5. So I'm really thankful. And that was about basically a trans woman taking back her peace, her strength, you know, saying this is basically me. And it was kind of like, you know, there's Marsha P. Johnson, you know Marsha P. Johnson. So it was a take on her ideology. So, but I just want to say with cabaret, you know, in 2019, I was doing a cabaret show and I walked off stage and I thought, I can't do this anymore. But that was working in, you know, like pubs and things. And I just did my first cabaret show since 2019, but it was at the Underbelly Theater. Some people think, oh, but Kim, you know, you're working in the theater and, you know, you just want everything to be perfect. And I'm like, no, it's really hard in pubs. My music is more for a sophisticated audience, you know, is jazz, you know, and some soul is not this pop stuff. So when you have people drinking and
they're not concentrating on you.
I can't tell the story properly. So I did that at the Underbelly. It went amazing. And I'll be doing some more at the Underbelly, which is amazing.
Because there are cabaret spots in London. I mean, there's Crazy Cox.
Crazy Cox, yeah.
Have you been there?
I did
More
a show there. I did a show there last summer, actually, with Alexis Gregory. You know Alexis.
Yeah, lovely. Because you're going to be doing more of that kind of thing, do you think?
Yes, I will be doing some more. We're in talks about doing some more at Crazy Cox as well. I put a group together called the Divas, and it's trans women and women together. And our group perform every year on my stage. I don't know if you know, I have my own stage at Pride. I have a trans-led stage. Now, the trans-led stage is in Soho Square, and it's a trans-led show. But I have different presenters that come up. Maybe you should come up and present. Maybe.
I would love to.
Yes. Okay. You, Suzanne and Suzanne. Yeah.
We'd love to.
Because I'll tell you what, you know, what I do is it's trans-led, but I want to make it for everybody. So I have a section for the disabled community, and I also advocate for the elderly community.
So you say it's trans-led. Is it because you are leading it?
No, it was a stage that it took me 8 years to.
But you pulled this together. You're producing it.
Yeah, I'm the producer. I'm the founder of the stage as well. I've been very lucky.
So it's Kim-led.
Yeah, it's Kim-led. Yeah,
really?
I have a team, my own little team. Yeah. I've been very lucky. We have queues around the block. It's really quite amazing.
So when does that happen? What month?
July 5th.
July 5th.
Why is your activism so important to you?
You know, when I was growing up, you know, being, I hate to say mixed race, but I would just say light complexion, with hazel eyes was very difficult. And also the things that I did, I started skiing at a very young age. My mom took me to the opera, took me to see Elvin Haley. I got a chance to see Judith Jansen dance as a kid. So I did all these things that a lot of other people in the Black communities didn't do. And it caused a lot of conflict with my community. And I just feel I have this mission to bring us more together. I'm working with Cartel, who does Vogue Rights. He has a voguing group, and I had them on my stage. And it's about introducing my community to a different side of life. Now, just because I listen to opera or I go to the ballet or do this, that doesn't make you snotty. Or I learned that a lot of people never got exposed to these things. And so that's another reason why it's important. I have a friend, my friend Marlene Ellis. She was the first Black police officer in London. Now she's a doctor. She has her own charity, Black Breast Cancer is called. We were at an exhibition at the Tate. Beautiful exhibition. All Black queer people everywhere. Huge. And I looked around and I said, Marlene, everyone's Caucasian. And she said something to me that I will never forget. And it was kind of sad. She said to me that a lot of Black people don't understand that they're welcome in this place. And that just really broke my heart, really. So,
yeah, there is that. But there are more groups and more people doing things. I saw a fabulous exhibition at the South Bank at the Haywood last year where there is light somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It's an African-American artist. But it was an astounding and absolutely astounding exhibition. But that thing of sort of people being exposed and people doing things, I think there's more of that, more where you see people going to things. I mean, we went through something where we had a theatre company, BB Crew, back in the 90s. And I mean, we had theatre companies saying, oh, I don't know if Black people go to theatre. But we knew that wasn't true because Black people were going to see certain types of theatre. They were going to see things by Oliver, who was coming with the Blue Mountain Theatre Company. They were going to see comedy. They were going to see things, but it's just about making sure people knew where things were and what they were going to do. So we made big efforts to do outreach and we saw things. And now people are going to see things because we are in this city, London, where there's so much of everything. But I do understand that thing
it takes courage, though, I think, to step through certain doors.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, London is one thing, but, I'm from Wales.
Yeah.
And I teach acting sometimes at a college. And
teach me.
And I don't think that's necessary. But literally, I remember when I first started, I was the only Black person who was a lecturer. Every other Black person in that building were cleaners. And little do people know, I can be quite shy, but I push through that so that I always will say, this building is for everybody, especially people who look like me, even more so because there's opportunities here. But it does take a lot, and it takes people to stand up and represent.
Definitely.
So I get exactly what you're
absolutely,
saying.
absolutely. And we sometimes can be inhibited.
We like to dictate to each other and we like to oppress each other. Not all of us, but we do.
It is
We
there.
can be our own worst enemies.
Yeah, we can. But that goes for the trans community as well, the LGBT community as well. And I just have this thing where I don't like to be dictated to. I don't like to dictate to people, but I like to do what I want to do. You know, when I was young, I was into punk, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit, Michigan. Yes, I had soul. My neighbor was at Motown, so we got a lot of the records. But my other neighbor ran a punk club downtown called St. Andrews. And honey, let me tell you, I was there. Got a chance to see Divine. I got a chance to see Boy George. Pete Burke, all these people.
Yeah.
For free.
There's a quote, a Quincy Jones quote. He was asked in an interview, what's his favorite music? And he went, good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good music is my
like
favorite
that.
music.
And there's
all music is good.
Exactly. And there's
All
another
music.
one with Louis Armstrong, apparently. He said, what's folk music? Because all music, he said, because horses ain't making music. So yeah, good music. I
Well,
love that.
Yeah.
I guess it's about educating, and people I find are really scared to live their truth. And people who are not afraid to live their truth are the ones who actually evolve. And it's about evolving. I strongly think that every day you should learn something. You should make every day better than it was the day before. I think that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, to allow yourself to be open, to learn things.
When was the last time you did something for the first time?
When was the last time I did? Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, I went to a summit yesterday at Deutsche Bank.
Wow, for the first time. Brilliant.
Wow. And can you tell us what that involved?
Yeah. It was basically a summit about the trans community. There were a lot of leading figures from the trans community who came and spoke. There were trans people who were photographers. There was a guy from Burberry, lawyers, bankers. There's a lot of trans people doing loads of things, that people don't really think about. They think, the trans people are just like, dressing up and, having fun or whatever. But no, there's a lot of trans people who are, have a lot of serious
movers
jobs.
and shakers.
Yeah, movers and shakers. So I was there yesterday. I was invited to spend a day there. My dog was very upset when I got home, but never mind. I had to make some contacts, and Laverne Cox sent a message over as well. So it was really nice. So I'm very lucky. I get to go to these sort of events. Every year I'm invited to the stock exchange as well, just to, get to meet people and interact with whoever.
How did you get the stock exchange gig?
I know.
That must be a story.
I'm with a group called the LGBT Women. So that's lesbian, bisexual, queer, transgender. So it's a group of women who meet up to discuss. It's like a networking thing. So we discuss things, what's needed for whatever community. We are in America, in New York, and in Paris as well. And we have events here and there. And the last one I think we had was at LinkedIn. And, I'll host sometimes. I hosted the last one. It's just bringing women together, basically.
And to discuss business, particularly. And finances.
Yeah. You may have a director of a company over here. You may have a woman who has an ice cream machine. So, we just talk. And if we need something, we're going to go to them and vice versa. So it's just all of us getting together to know each other. And it's our way of supporting women as well. Yeah. Like I said, it's extremely important to me. It really is. Because, women, for me, growing up, I saw how women are going to be there. Yes, there's some amazing men out there, but that's just not enough. There's not enough.
Well, my mentor in life said the 21st century is the century of women.
I think
if we want to take it, if we want to ride that bus.
Let me tell you, I believe you, babes. Let me tell you, so many people are apologizing to Black women in America. So many women want to take back their vote. Oh, they didn't want to have the Black woman. Oh, but now they do. So much blame is directed to the trans community at the moment. They did this, they did that, and they haven't done anything.
But also, it's a small community.
It's 1% of the planet.
It's such a tiny, yeah.
We hope you're enjoying our conversation with Mzz Kimberley.
Mzz Kimberley made a contribution to the book we wrote in response to the murder of George Floyd, Still Breathing, 100 Black Voices on Racism.
The book features 100 essays from musicians, members of parliament, poets, artists, athletes, civil servants, doctors, and lawyers. They seek to educate, to bear witness, and to offer hope for a better future.
You can find Still Breathing 100 Black Voices at all good online retailers.
Do you see politics in your future?
No.
Now that surprises me.
No, not at all. I do enjoy speaking my truth.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy that. But for me, I think politics is a dangerous game for me. I think if I was a politician, I think it would kill my soul.
Right.
Because
I'm
you
a
feel
truth-
you couldn't speak your truth as a politician?
I don't think I could speak my truth. I don't speak the truth. I mean, you had people here. Oh, is England a racist country? Oh, no, we're not a racist country. And they do the same thing in America. They don't speak their truth. They don't. They don't.
So how far do you see your activism going then, if you're not going to jump into the politics?
I just think that, it's activism, but it's not activism, if you know what I mean. I'm not Angela Davis. I'm not Martin Luther King. I'm not Shirley Chisholm. Those are people who worked tirelessly on activism. I just have a big mouth. So
you are downplaying yourself there.
There's just so much whitewashing. And I was saying last night, I was talking to some people and I said in the article, the trans community is being targeted because it's 1% of the planet, but also they don't have the money behind them either. And my great-grandparents immigrated from Poland. They're Polish Jews. They immigrated to America, okay? My mother's side of the family, we know from African history. So I don't remember, but I remember the stories. But when they immigrated, the Jews were terrible, blah, 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 blah. Then we get to Black America, oh, blah, 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 blah. Then we get to, I think it was the LGBT after that. And then it was the gay people. And now it's the trans. So it's never the Caucasian, cis, heterosexual Christian man. Never. And I think as well, during slavery, they had all these very intelligent people, these professors and this and that, said that Black people were considered subhuman, which gave them the green light to hate. And this is what they're doing now with the trans community. Oh, it's an ideology. So that kind of activism, I'm speaking to you right now. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be another Angela Davis, even though she's my icon. But I just want to be able to speak my truth. That is it. And a lot of people are not ready for the truth. They're just not ready.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Is that?
Can I hear an amen?
Yes. Amen. And also what you were saying about just being and living your truth, as you said. You live your truth. And in living your truth, actually, you are showing up for yourself and for other people who may be a little bit, a bit timid. It's like something Malcolm X said. He said, don't tell a man he's drinking dirty water. Just let him see the clean water you're drinking.
Interesting.
So by
I
living,
like that.
just by living your life, a lot of time you can't lecture to go on at people. You have to let them see how you are. Be an example by living your life, living your way.
Yes.
You're not afraid. You're being who you are. Somebody else can look and think, well, they are doing it. Maybe even a small way.
Yes.
I can start showing up for myself, being who I am, which is really, really important.
That's very important you say that, because I feel that people don't like to be dictated to. They just don't. But on the other hand, a lot of people, they need someone to think for them as well, some people. But those are the people who we don't want really to socialize with, because those are people who do not want to evolve. They can't be bothered reading. We wouldn't be in this mess in America if
mentality.
These people did their homework.
Yes, but some of the things, unfortunately, the time we're living in, you can read stuff, but what are you reading? If you are reading something that is just reinforcing certain images, you're not seeing anything outside of that, and it's reinforcing that. You're in a bit of an echo chamber. That's all you're hearing.
Yes.
Then you're going down a bit of a rabbit hole.
That's so true. Sorry.
No, please.
I know. I was just thinking about something my mom said. My mom was just she was just amazing. She would always say things. I would say like, "Oh God, look at I can't stand it," blah, blah, blah. And she would say, "Well, you don't know what their backstory is. You don't know who they're influenced by," and that was a really powerful lesson to learn, because we judge so easily, so quickly. It's just our human nature. It's in our DNA. And that's one thing that's a thing I try to work on.
You know, that's part of why we're doing this, actually, because you don't know. You have to converse. The art of conversation, which is virtually dead because we have all of these platforms, virtual reality, all of that stuff. And that's when you really can know somebody.
Yes, definitely.
Have a conversation.
Thank you. We always think we know each other, but we don't.
Yeah, that's very good. We think.
Yes.
Yeah.
With one of my charities, Para Pride, I'm actually meeting them after this. We're getting ready to launch a intersectionality week and getting elderly people involved, the disabled community, from the trans community, from the Black community, all intersections of society are going to get together, and we're going to have like a week long, like a summit basically during the week. So that's what we're working on. And I'm not going to heal the world. You know, no one can heal the world, but we can try.
You can do what you can do.
Yes,
we can all do our bit.
Exactly.
As they say, one cocoa full basket. So we're all just one cocoa full basket. So each doing something, you're going to fill that basket.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Yes.
You know, we all have to do our bit.
Yes.
Really.
But coming together.
Definitely.
And supporting each other. It's so important.
Kim, where did your love of performance come from?
When I was a kid, oh God, I have so many stories. You know, I wasn't that precocious kid. Oh, mommy, watch me dance. Oh, mommy, watch me sing. I wasn't like that. Well, she wasn't really at home a lot, but she's a businesswoman. So if I didn't even go to my grandparents, oh, watch me do this. I used to perform in my room on my own. You know, growing up, you know, trans, you know, especially back then, you know, you didn't have a lot of resources as you have today. So I was alone. I had lots of friends, but I was alone in my thinking, in my head. I was alone. And I really enjoyed being alone as well. And it's really interesting because I was very active in school. When I think about it, one of the reasons I just love acting, I suffer from ADHD and dyslexia like so many performers, but back then it wasn't really recognized. And I had a little bit of a stammer. Because of my ADHD, I couldn't pronounce words properly. So I've had to educate myself on words. When I see a new word, I have to really educate myself. So when I'm on stage and I'm delivering a line with so much passion, you know, you're just there. It just feeds my soul. Because I was really made fun of when I was younger. Yeah, really made fun of. So
it was almost like a key to freedom.
Yeah,
key to
definitely. You know, you're a kid, you like yourself, but you don't like yourself because you don't really fit in, and just being somebody else.
It's acting or performing is the revenge of the shy.
Oh, no, okay.
Do you know who said that?
I don't know who said it, but yes,
it's the revenge
of the
shy.
Because I relate to that, because I never felt I had a voice until I was on stage, and then you were like, as soon as I was on stage, bang,
yes.
Weirdly, even though they weren't my words,
yeah.
but somehow there was such a sense of
freedom,
liberation.
Yes.
So I can get it. But and just picking up on that, when you say you were alone, did you ever want not to be alone? Did you want to have certain conversations, or did you not feel safe
I wanted
to
be alone. I wanted to be alone because I just thought that I was too different from a lot of people. So I enjoy going into my fantasy world. I really enjoyed it so much. I feel, you know, quite blessed that I actually could enjoy being on my own, because if it was the other way, that could have been detrimental. So, yes, you know, I was sad, but, you know, I remember I was 5 years old. I will never forget this. We have a magazine called Ebony, which is we
know it. Yeah, we used to get it from America.
Yeah. And I remember looking into this magazine, and I saw a picture of Grace Jones and Andy Warhol. And I looked and I thought, oh my God. They were in Paris at the time, okay? I thought, oh my God, there are people like me. So the reason why I'm actually in London is because when I saw that picture of them, I envisioned myself in Europe all through my life. I even had a going away party and it didn't even have a ticket to come to Europe. But I learned that I put that into the universe.
Yes.
To be 5 years old, and that's all you thought about. The one thing I always thought about, living in Europe, living as a woman, and being a performer. And I'm so blessed because I actually got to meet Andy Warhol as a kid in a nightclub in New York. I wasn't supposed to be in there, but never mind. And Grace used to come to my club when I was at Heaven. So, and we still are kind of friendly. So, which is
you
really
manifested that even at 5.
Babes, you know what? I don't know if you know Enos Johnson. Enos Johnson was the husband of Ebony magazine, basically. Now, Enos was, oh God, one day I hope someone do a documentary. She was this Black woman back in, the 50s, 60s. And do you know, she had the most expensive haute couture wardrobe. This is a Black woman now, okay? So there was a fashion section in Ebony. And I can remember my mom saying to me, why are you always looking at those dresses? Enos was kind of like my icon. Like you have Jackie Onassis and, but Enos was mine. She had the most expensive haute couture collection. She was out there with Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, all of them going to these places. That's very important Black history that we don't hear about. I hope one day I get a chance to meet her daughter. I really do.
You are very good at manifesting.
I was going to say that.
Kim, so it probably will happen.
You put it out there. You put it out there now.
Out there, definitely. I was going to invite you now to tell us about, because you're on our veranda.
Okay.
Veranda talk.
Okay.
And I just want you to give us a glimpse into what would be your veranda, your space that you can kick back in. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are the sounds, the scents, and potentially who might be there with you?
Well, in my veranda, I'm at a chateau in the south of France. You two are definitely my guests. I would also have my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. I would also have Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black woman to run for president. It'd be amazing to hear her stories. I would have Josephine Baker, the first Black, icon.
Innes?
Yeah, definitely Innes. Oh, so thank you, definitely. I would also have Diane Carroll, Eartha Kitt, and Jenna McKenna as well. I would have them. Oh, and there was the other actress as well who I love so much. She died in her 40s, Dorothy Jandrich, and Angela Davis. I would have it all women, but I would have one man. And
is he serving drinks?
No. Well, yeah, actually, he could be serving drinks, but I think his story is just so fascinating, and that's Pushkin. Do you know anything about Pushkin?
Pushkin,
yes,
the Russian
of course,
writer.
the writer.
Yes, the writer.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I lived in Russia in the 90s. Now, the reason why I find him so fascinating, I'm sure you know, he is the father of Russia. His statues everywhere. But he was a Black man.
Yes. Yeah.
Father of Russian literature.
Father
yes.
of Russia. Mm-hmm. So to have all these powerful women with someone like him, I think would be amazing.
That's going to be a great conversation.
Yeah, that would be a wonderful conversation.
It might be fueled by a certain drink. What would that be?
Oh, gosh, yes. So I used to drink Red Bull and vodka.
Oh.
And you know what that Red Bull does to you if you have like 3, 4, 5 of them? Oh,
It gives you wings, I heard.
Give you wings,
Oh,
yeah.
honey, it gives you more than that.
You were flying.
Today. Oh, Kim, Ms. Kimberley, it's been a joy chatting
the joy
with you
is
today.
mine. The joy is mine, but
Really.
the pleasure is mine.
Oh,
This is what it's all about.
yeah.
Sisterhood, bringing us
Yes.
together. So I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you guys reached out.
We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Ms. Kimberley.
If you did, why not click, share, and send it to someone you think would enjoy it too? Or they're able to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
I'm Suzette Llewellyn.
And I'm Suzanne Packer.
Veranda Talk is a Bengo Media production.